Starting in the 1970s, microphones got smaller and changed forever how we communicate.
There are over 2 billion electret microphones that are made each year, and these microphones are in everything from toys, telephony, hearing aids, professional microphones.
Bell Labs' Jim West and Gerhard Sessler started this change by inventing the electret microphone. They became a prodigiously productive team with hundreds of patents and a lifelong friendship.
It was just fun to work together with Jim.
We were always teased that when we're together, don't even try to talk to him.
But before these inventors could change how the world communicates, they had to survive their own childhood curiosity.
My father had a violin, a very nice, valuable violin. And I took that violin when he was not around and took it apart. Of course, just to see where the sound comes from.
I found an old radio that somebody had thrown away. Thought I had found out what was wrong. And the only electrical outlets were through the ceiling in my room, and I reached for the socket to plug it in and got stuck there.
He also got stuck on physics, beginning a life in science. That worried his father.
He knew a number of black men with PhDs in the sciences who were working either in the post office or on the railroad.
West went on to Temple University and got a summer internship at Bell Labs. Engineers were using condenser microphones as headphones. West got the task of finding a way to improve them. He used a large mylar membrane connected to a battery. The current forced the atoms to align and generate a signal. But engineers had to reverse the current every few weeks, or the atoms lost their alignment. But West then made a fortuitous discovery.
I accidentally took the battery out and the lead across the oscillator and the earphone connected, and the thing sung beautifully without a battery, and that shouldn't happen. And there I discovered electrets.
An electret holds a charge for a long time without a current. In order to be commercially useful, West needed one that lasted far longer than the 6 months he got out of the headphones mylar. With his newly minted PhD from the University of Göttingen, Gerhard Sessler arrived at Bell Labs. He had the skills West needed. Could they improve on West's discovery? They searched for a better material and consulted with other engineers at Bell Labs for possible ideas. Together, they found a secret ingredient: Teflon.
If a sound wave impinged now on this film here, on this membrane, the membrane started to vibrate.
West and Sessler published their research and patented the device.
When we suggested that the electret microphone might indeed be a good replacement for the carbon microphone in telephony, we were laughed at.
But 7 years later, Sessler was at a conference.
Somebody after a talk which I gave stepped up to me and said, "I'm from Sony, the Sony company. We are producing your electret microphone." I said, well, that's news to me. I didn't know that.
West and Sessler worked for many more years together at Bell Labs. But eventually, Sessler decided to go home to Germany. At Darmstadt Technical University, he would not only teach, but go on to develop the next generation microphone, the Microelectronic Mechanical Systems, or MEMS microphone.
All our electret microphones were already very small. These MEMS microphones were even smaller. You could make them a millimeter in diameter or less.
300 million of them are made each year. At Bell Labs, West went on to find ways to interest women and people of color in the world of engineering. He established an internship program.
Upwards of 1,000 women and underrepresented minorities on any summer over a long period of time were getting introduced to brand new science.
West continues to reach out to budding scientists by teaching and doing research at Johns Hopkins University. Sessler remains on the Darmstadt faculty. Danielle Farrar has studied with both men.
They both fall under what I would call a mentor umbrella, and they're very similar in character as it relates to that. They want to share their knowledge with you if you're open to receiving it.
I loved teaching. I thought it would be nice to give lectures to young people, make them enthusiastic about science and engineering.
If I look to the future and some of the things my students are involved in and doing, if they work out, then I will have had some responsibility in the next generation of microphones.
The 2010 Benjamin Franklin Medal in Electrical Engineering is presented to Gerhard M. Sessler and James E. West.